Fox News alert for you. You're looking live at Capitol Hill, where they're busy inside finding a lot of ways to spend our money, and today busy with a lot of folks outside making sure they do not. More than 1,000 rallying in Washington to protest what they call runaway spending and runaway priorities. Two of them join me right now to discuss that, Mike Meredith and Jason Moore. Welcome to both of you.
Hey, thanks, Neil.
Thank you very much, Neil. Glad to be here.
Usually you don't find people outside Capitol Hill asking money be taken away. That's novel. Why are you guys there?
Well, I can tell you why I'm here, Neil. As a small business owner, I am tired of government spending my money in a wasteful manner. If the government can let me free up some of my capital, then it would be very easy for me to invest in more equipment, grow my business quicker, and pay my employees more.
Has anyone talked to you guys from in there and said, hey, you're right?
You mean in Congress?
Yeah.
I don't think they'd ever come straight out and say that, because that would be an admission of guilt that they're spending too much money needlessly.
Who addressed you?
Who addressed us today? Congressman Jeff Flake.
So any of the Democratic leadership?
There was no Democrats here, as I recall.
Not one?
And gee, I guess that would be a sign.
Was there? Did I miss one? I don't think there were.
I saw a Democrat. No.
Now, you know what's happening. The Republicans got bashed, and Alan Greenspan's right, lost their majority because they were not much better at this spending thing. Do you trust either party with your money?
At this point, I mean, the biggest problem is, I mean, we've always said that politicians spend money like drunken sailors. The problem is, at least drunken sailors spend their own money, Neil. And the problem with Congress is it's, you know, this mentality, there's no end to what we can do with other people's money. And I mean, that's one of the reasons I came up from Texas, is they don't hear from normal people like us very much. They just go on these spending rampages and think that that's what everybody wants, because everybody that's around Congress is usually here with their hand out, and because we're working and raising our families, we don't have time to come down here and beat their doors and, you know, ring their phones and all that. So they think, well, I'm not hearing from those guys, so everything must be okay and everybody must want all of this spending.
You know, I think it's sad, guys, but you're either part of the silent majority or maybe the outright minority, because at least listening to all the candidates, the prominent Democratic ones, it's the gimme time, you know, whether $5,000 per newborn child in the United States for education, or providing a bailout for homeowners who got stuck behind their bills. There are a lot of bennies being bandied about. What do you guys think of that?
Well, I mean, I would say that too often, you know, we have citizens who are misguided in thinking that the government has its own money and that it can spend its own money. And so what is it hurting if they give me some of it? And I mean, that's why I joined a group like Americans for Prosperity, is because, you know, they help give us a voice down here when we're at work, you know, and we're at school and, you know, all that, doing those things with our kids. I mean, you got to have groups like Americans for Prosperity to do that kind of stuff. You know, sadly, because we don't have the time to take out of our busy lives all the time to come to Washington.
Or would it make a difference to you if we have a Democratic president, in other words, the House, the Senate, and presumably the White House under the same single-party rule?
I think that's a recipe for disaster, because what you're going to find then, they're going to start encroaching on health care. And if they take over health care in America, in my opinion, our economy's sunk. That's just too large a portion for the government to get into. And what does the government do well? Very little.
Very little.
You know, I spoke at a high school class just recently in my area. I'm the local Republican Party chairman. And I asked those youngsters, that 17, 18-year-old kids, and I said, what is it the government does well? And there wasn't a single hand went up, because they know that the government does do well. But so I said, then why do we go and ask government to fix our problems all the time when they only make things worse?
All right, but then why do we keep electing people who promise us they're going to spend more money and give us more things?
Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
We're here to speak in an aggregative voice. With we represent, Americans for Prosperity represents 20 states across the country, and we're tired of it.
Well, and plus, people think you can, you know, spend your way to utopia. That if we just spend enough money and enough other people's money, then you know, we'll have this great utopian world. And we have to realize that anything that is a human endeavor is going to be imperfect.
That's right,
guys. Very well put. Best of luck to you. Thank you both very much.
Thank you, Neil.